The El Mayo Zambada case. New photographs reveal previously unseen details of the flight. The case of Ismael El Mayo Zambada is once again in the public spotlight following the release of a set of previously unseen photographs related to his arrival in the United States in July 2024. The images, released nearly 2 years after those events, offer a different perspective on the flight that ended with the capture of the longtime leader of the Sinaloa cartel. So let's check out the new pictures. So that's them getting the old man off the plane. We never saw these. The material was presented by a journalist on his YouTube news channel. A journalist. They didn't even credit El Chaparro. What is JP called? El Enano. They didn't even credit him. It was presented by a journalist on his YouTube news channel who claimed that the information comes from sources with access to the FBI. The image includes both the aircraft used for the transport and the operation carried out after the landing in Santa Teresa, New Mexico. Mayo Zambada and the findings inside the aircraft. The photographs show the condition of the cabin after the flight. The seats show visible damage, and several surfaces display signs consistent with the struggle. There are also damaged windows and torn seat backs. Struggle with who? Who's struggling in there? Did Joaquín bring him? He said he did in court, didn't he? Didn't he tell the judge it was me? The U.S. had nothing to do with this? Didn't he say that? I thought we heard him say that. Or did the U.S. government drag both of their asses on that plane? Because who was struggling? The old man put up that kind of struggle? Cut up back seats and damage to the walls and shit? I don't know. Another noticeable detail involves various items found inside the craft. These include bags from a convenience store containing food scraps, beverages, and personal items. In addition, the plane had undergone technical modifications, as some serial numbers had been removed and the navigation system was operated via a specific sequence of switches. They put a clavo on the plane. For those that don't know, a clavo is a secret compartment in the car where you gotta, turn on the windshield wipers, turn on your left signal light, change the station on the radio, eject the cassette tape, and boom, a little section opens up with your gun in it. The images also show the moments following the landing. According to reports, Ismael Zambada and Joaquín Guzman Lopez exited the plane without handcuffs and were arrested on the tarmac by U.S. federal agents who were waiting for the aircraft's arrival. Of course they were. The versions that continue to shape the case. The manner in which Zambada arrived in the United States remains a point of contention among the parties involved. Since 2024, the Mexican government has maintained that the transfer was the result of a kidnapping orchestrated by Joaquín Guzman Lopez and has reiterated that no Mexican authority participated in the operation. This position has been endorsed by both former President Andrés Manuel López Obrador and President Claudia Sheinbaum. The drug lord's defense team offers a similar explanation for the origin of the trip. Attorney Frank Perez claims that his client attended a meeting in Culiacán where he was overpowered by an armed group before being forced to board a plane bound for the United States. Although the photographs do not answer all the questions surrounding this episode, they do add new visual evidence to an investigation that continues to spark interest on both sides of the border. Who was struggling? Why the seatbacks cut up? Did the feds use whose plane is it? Whose plane was it? We know whose plane it is now. It's the FBI because they donated it. But whose plane was it? We said, oh, it's a Chapo's plane. Oh, it's a Mayo plane. Everybody said, oh, I saw that plane before in his garage. Then they said it was some old white man's plane. Whose plane was it? And according to what I believe Chaparro said, the U.S. admits to their part in it. But didn't Joaquín go up there in front of the judge and say, nah, U.S. had nothing to do with it?
This is America.
Did we find the pilot yet? He's in the museum, standing there waving. He had a monster turned into the Hulk breaking shit. The old man almost got out of there. If they weren't in the air by then, he could have made it out, ripped the door off and shit. He said that the images portrayed that there was a struggle. What struggle? What struggle? With who? The old man? Shit. I think it was some agents that told him that they had involvement, but it wasn't an official statement from the FBI or whatever agent was involved. Okay. Is this another case where he's like, a source says, one of my fuentes says,
no, mommy's wait.
In the video I seen, it talks about the plane. Yeah, we're going to get to that too. We're going to do a tour of the plane because the other day, in jest, just joking, I gave y'all a play-by-play of what the plane should look like inside. When you go inside that plane, you got the pilot. He greets you as you walk in. He waves his peace sign that says, "I'm not a crook." Then you walk to the back. As you walk to the back, you'll find zip ties. To your left, you'll find an OXXO bag with some Doritos and some Gatorades in it. To the right, you'll find 2 used glasses that had sedatives in them that was taken by Joaquín and by Mayo. A little blood stain on the wall from one of the palizas they was giving them in there. I saw images of that stuff inside that plane in this museum displayed exactly how I said it would be displayed. All right, I'm pretty sure the pilot was in there too. We'll see. As of right now, I'm starting that rumor. The pilot is in the museum as well. On the 25th of July, 2024, leader of the CDS, El Mayo Zambada, was kidnapped in Culiacan through what seems to be a coordinated, planned kidnapping by his godson, Joaquín, part of the same organization. El Mayo was forced onto an airplane to take off and to land in Santa Teresa, a few kilometers from El Paso, Texas. There they were waited for by federal agents of the United States, the FBI, amongst other agencies. 2 years later, Pie de Nota has gained exclusive access to that airplane. Here's my problem with that. There's some kind of coordination that happened here. Because when he says exclusive, I would think just him. But since we heard Friday that the FBI donated that airplane, or we heard it before that, because when did we talk about it? Tuesday maybe? The plane that El Mayo Zambada was kidnapped in will be in an exhibit at the Museum of New Mexico since it was donated by the FBI to do so. They donated the plane. I've seen plenty of journalists go inside that plane and videotape it. Question is this: is he just saying he was exclusive? Or he was just the first one there when they opened up the exhibit? Or did he have exclusive information or exclusive access and then waited until they pulled up the journalist embargo and the museum shit was out loud and now he's talking about, I don't know, it's just I don't be believing these motherfuckers, man. Especially when everybody wants to have the source. I just don't believe nobody, man. Don't believe them. Don't believe you need more people. Fuck out of here. So we had exclusive access to look at the inside of the airplane, he says. As well as exclusive access, a source internal to the FBI, a source, details the modifications of the plane and a declaration that y'all are going to hear for the first time. Okay, he just flat out said the United States government has accepted that it was a fucking operation of the FBI. Now, you said that an internal source at the FBI told you this, but now you're speaking for the entire FBI. You saying that shit like it's fact. They not saying that shit. It's usually what we run into when we run into this situation here. Ain't that something? A museum crazy, making him some god. Their focus is twisted. Oh, we're doing it for the people. Meanwhile, you want to sell this ticket to the museum to the people to go see the chips he ate while they was kidnapping him. The fuck out of here. 1976 Bitchcraft King Air. Watch people walk around eating the same chips that are in the plane, same way people are quick to buy. Marketing. The first modification that was made is that it was passed off as a new model Bitchcraft.
Por un Bitchcraft.
The plane landed at Santa Teresa Airport, New Mexico with the registration number N287KA, which was cloned from an existing aircraft. Furthermore, inside it was the serial number BB137, which would correspond with the cloned aircraft. Bro, that's a hunk of shit. Look at this thing. That shit looked like it got shot up and everything. However, the documents obtained exclusively by Pie de Nota reveal the aircraft's actual serial number is BB19, a 1970s aircraft initially operated in Colombia. The serial numbers was also removed from the engines and some interior panels. The location transmission system, known in English as the ELT, was removed to prevent tracking. Okay, the plane was a ghost. The pilot was also a ghost. And the flight plan was altered. All previous flight records were removed. And to start a makeshift flight plan, a sequence of switches had to be performed. A secret code known only to him or the pilots. Who's him? Who we're saying this plane belongs to? He never said that. You talking about Joaquín? The flashing lights, both on the wings and the tail, were removed. So there was no lights. Remember, this happened during the day. To avoid, lights were removed to avoid being detected in the air. They put a lot of work into this plane, man. The aircraft also has a makeshift fuel extension system to achieve longer flight times without stopping to refuel. Okay, once again, Pie de Nota obtained exclusive access to the interior of the plane, and the chips, and the Gatorade, and the zip ties. In the central part of the interior where the long seats are, that old man put up that kind of fight? He was whooping their ass? Was it all the soldiers that was dragging them up there and knocking shit over? There's shoe marks on the seats? A lot of this shit could have been done after the fact, but whatever. Windows smashed by blows. Airplane windows. Broken backrests on some of the seats. Mind you, this is a 1976 plane from Colombia that probably been pushing dope since 76. And the feds just outfitted it for the mission. And all that shit was there already. But if they covered his head, threw him on a truck, took him to an airport, put him on the plane, gave him a sedative, where's all this struggle? Struggle enough to break backrests on some of the seats? It's a lot, bro. The crew, whether it was Joaquin Guzman Lopez or some others, carried bags of OXXO with food, chips, candy, sodas, and wipes. I told y'all that shit was going to be laid out like the scene. They were going to stage it like that. And look, they staged it just like that. Look at this shit. That's crazy. That's a little tube though, man. Shit. Plane looked way bigger than that from the outside. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe they're allowing access to the plane now because they staged the whole scene inside the plane. Similar to what happened in the cabins for Mencho. You got a point there. That looks set up as fuck too. You can't go over there where we didn't set up, but you can stay right here where we set all this shit up. Don't worry. I want you to see in detail the route we took inside. See, this is why this scene is bullshit, okay? And shout out to Sam. Also, why snacks? I get it. They curated a museum piece, right? Again, why so many snacks for such a short flight? We didn't see all of this shit that they talking about here. And for fuck sure, we didn't see no open soda cans crushed open and none of that shit. This is all glorification, man. Glorification and fuck shit. Like there was a party going on in there. We know when that plane took off who was on it. Supposedly it was only Mayo, the pilot, and Joaquin on the plane, but it seems like that's a lot of food. That's what I'm saying. And that's not what we saw the first time. We saw one OXXO bag with some drinks in it. This looks like a curated museum exhibit of bullshit. You know? Supposedly it was only Mayo, the pilot, and Joaquin. Yeah, so what's up with all this broken shit and all this fighting, supposedly? I get it. I'm sure all those guards dragged him up in there. But really, how much fight after already being brought there in the truck? How much fight that old man had in him for that shit? I don't know. Maybe he's a motherfucker, man. Maybe he was trying to bite out somebody's jugular or some shit. Who knows? Did they ever release all the details of the surrender, or is it all still up in the air? Who surrendered? What surrender? Because this plane was split. There was the surrender section, and then there was the kidnap section. You know what I'm saying? It was a double bubble going on in that bitch. That's wild. Technically, that violates so many international laws. To kidnap a citizen from another country, they got no jurisdiction. That's crazy. Which is why people think that Joaquin telling the judge that the United States had nothing to do with it was like an alley-oop to Mayo and to the Mexican government saying, go ahead and get him. The U.S., they had nothing to do with it. I took him. Get him back. I feel like Luis Chaparro is just repeating himself. He's been saying that the FBI has been involved from the beginning. I think he is doing clickbait by making it sound like it's breaking news. I think, you know what I think opened the door for that? The fact that most people don't know that this fucking plane is in a museum. Unless he got this footage before it was in a museum, it's already staged. You're not going to tell me there was all those open containers and shit in that plane. You're not going to tell me that. There was 3 people on the plane. One of them was in the cockpit. I feel like, yeah, he knows that a lot of people don't know it's in a museum, and now he could put all his little theories together and put together a piece and show images of the plane. And then the people that don't know no better, they just jump on it and call it breaking news. Yeah, I kind of agree with EC12. Like, this was his opportunity to break this story out. Or whatever sources he's had or whatever. But we'll see, man. I've looked for news stories on this. Real news stories. Not independent journalists like Luis Chaparro. And I found nothing. In addition, it had signs of repair and engine sealing work. The motors were sealed with screws, which you're seeing on the screen right now, so that it couldn't be opened easily, and that the serial number couldn't easily be reached. What you're seeing is the blinking lights. They were sealed, closed, and covered to avoid being seen in the plane. Now you're just showing us what you were telling us. And the same order. All right, he said he also has security tape of the FBI, evidence tape of the FBI. They got border protection seals as well. Inside, it's about 7 seats. And it still has the food and the chips and the fuck you, bro.
No, mommy's wake.
Is this image in the museum? Or is this image... I will say this. When you walk through this door in the museum, it has a glass box here. A plastic box here with chips inside of it. The question is, when did he get this video? When was this video made? Before the museum or after? Who's eating all this shit? And who knows? You know, maybe they were like, hey man, Joaquín, this is it, bro. You going straight to jail.
You're stealing, right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail.
He looked like a hungry motherfucker. He probably wanted one of each of his favorite shit before he went straight to jail. No, that might be a thing too. That could be it. He just had a Ruffle, then he had a Dorito, you know, or a handful, whatever. Yeah, all of this stuff is there that they originally loaded before kidnapping El Mayo. An evidence bag left there by the FBI. With little blood marks. The seats damaged by what seems like a struggle. Fuck you. It's a 1976 plane. That had to be a struggle? They were probably struggling to carry his ass down that little aisle and they had to stand on the seats. Maybe they didn't. Maybe a motherfucker transporting blow in that thing in 1985 stood on them seats, bashed in windows. It's a 1976 plane. It's clear that they took off and landed just fine with that window in its current state. What? Yo, these fucking journalists will make up whatever. Just make a story. These guys should write screenplays, man. What the fuck are they doing? Bro, that glass is probably, that plastic is probably so oxidized at this point. Who knows where this thing's been sitting? A golpes. He said a golpes, that this is due to blows. What? Blows in a struggle. He didn't say this, but he'd be like, oh, look at all the chipping on the instruments in the cockpit. This just lets us know that there was a struggle. And come on, man, what the fuck are we doing? Inside the plane, remember it's a 1970s airplane. Thanks to the paint job, it was made to look new, but it still has all its old instrumentation. Yeah, that motherfucker right there, boy. However, all of the wiring is completely damaged, modified, or disconnected. It's an aircraft that can only be piloted by an expert because of all the modifications it has. How about because it's old as fuck? And modifications, if it's a code or sequence, then yeah, that's a fucking Fed plane, man. How they even changed the electrical wiring. And also, to activate its flight plans, a series of levers would have to be generated. And to have a secret flight plan, you had to go through those switch steps. We also obtained these 2 images exclusively. They show Mayo and Junior getting off the plane. These images you won't see anywhere else. These are exclusive images obtained by Pie de Nota. A source revealed that neither of them was tied up and that both were arrested once they got off the plane. The questions about who actually operated the aircraft had remained unanswered. The Mexican government, all the way from AMLO to current President Claudia Sheinbaum, has sent multiple letters and requests to the United States government to find out what really happened with that kidnapping and whether or not there was American intervention. How could there not have been? They crossed our border in an airplane. Remember, we're the country that got hit with airplanes. They crossed our border in an airplane. These fucking and these guys happen to be sitting there waiting for them. So cut the bullshit. We revealed it in Pie de Nota from the very beginning. It was a joint task force of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Homeland Security Investigations, and the CIA, who were behind this operation, using Joaquin Lopez as the main material operator of the kidnapping. So that's it. He worked for the police, man. He worked for all them alphabet boys. But today, Pie de Nota obtained an official statement attributable to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, the FBI, where their participation is explicitly accepted. It says, all right, can I see it? Where is it at? It says, in a heroic and unprecedented operation, FBI special agents whose names are being withheld at the FBI's request successfully arrested and transferred one of the United States government's top targets. As of today, a chapter in the history of organized crime in Mexico and the United States comes to a close. The aircraft is on public display. Not exclusive display. Public. El Publico. Maybe you got the first look. The aircraft that brought justice to Ismael El Mayo Zambada.
Un reporte especial de Piedra.
A special report from Pie de Nota. Alright, shout out Luis Enano, as JP would call him. Salutes to him. Salutes for the information and shit.
Oh, too much information and shit.
Fucking information and shit. You know the U.S. was in the background saying, yeah, grab them, it's all good. Chapitos wouldn't pull that without some kind of agreement in place. Do I think they could have pulled it off in the sense that all they needed was a pilot if they didn't have one? And the clearing and the okay from the United States government to pull the move? I can see him doing it. That shit's bulletproof with all them layers of paint. That shit got 3-4 layers of paint on it. The U.S. has a history of working with narcos. The U.S. worked with the Chapos to capture Mayo. That is why I think the other brothers haven't been captured yet. They need them to be out there. Indeed. It sounds like everybody's in bed pillow talking. So Mayo's financial footprint was around $15 billion. I'm surprised he couldn't buy his way out of this. That's like buku bucks. Man, when the right motherfucker got you, ain't enough. I'm thinking there was more people in the plane. How? When? We know what it landed with, right? Again, they could have kept the pictures and videos from us. Sure. And there could have been up to 12 people in there before they took off. After they took off, I don't see it. Mayo doesn't seem like a junk food kind of guy to me. They're just good hosts, bros. Some cheese and some salami and shit. But those planes are workhorses for real. And I don't doubt that that specific one hasn't been a workhorse for 50 years. It's been, I'm sure. That shit was probably slanging dope, people, all kind of shit, arms. Let's see what we got here. That plane has been flying coke around since 1972. Facts. Facts. There probably been bodies in there. People done probably had wars inside that thing. I don't know. It look like they shine that motherfucker up real nice. Look, look, look. You see this? Glass box. With the Marvel Coca-Cola that got peeled open. So they took all the other shit out of there. They got the soda and some Doritos. Look, look. They got that shit on an easel. They got the pictures out there. Come on, guys. Look where, we don't know which one, but look where either Joaquín or El Mayo put their lips on this soda can. Just 2 years later, it's in the museum. Well, I was right the first time. Luis Chaparro got his shit when they did this. This is all in the exact same position it was, except for the evidence bag was right here. Exclusive. We just seen that pretty young lady in this fucking airplane. Exclusive video, my ass. None of this has moved. We did see another Marvel can in the plastic box that the young lady showed us. But this footage here, unless this is the just exclusive Pie de Nota footage, this is in the exact same position it was in the Pie de Nota footage. Right here. Boom. So he just got a chance to go in there like everybody else. Just like that, like Sam said, or EC said, like that other fucking house where Mencho got. This is the exact same position. Remember, he said the blood droplets, all this open shit, except the evidence bag was sitting right here. So when he took his video, it was curated for the, it was already curated for the warehouse, for the museum. So everybody need to shut the fuck up with their exclusive bullshit. Everybody just want to fool people, just lie to the people and shit. And then the people steady going to their site and watching their shit. Like, man, fuck these dudes. Obvious signs of a struggle. See this dirt right here? This dirt wasn't on the carpet. This dirt came from the struggle. Didn't come from the fact that this is a 1976 plane. Come on, man. So he got that video the same way everybody fucking else got it. Motherfuckers could stop this exclusive bullshit.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick look inside. You can actually go inside of the private plane. And now the museum says it even recreated what investigators say was left behind, including chips, sodas, and Mexican snacks allegedly eaten during this flight.
How long was the flight? You think you think the old man's going to have an appetite after getting smacked up? Joaquín? Maybe. Even then, he know he in the shit. You going to jail.
You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away.
You both know you're going to jail. Wouldn't you think that a son of El Chapo wouldn't have had tamales, pozole, menudo, tacos, tortas, gorditas, tortitas, tortillas, all of that shit in there? I'm going to jail, bitch. I'm going to just birria on this bitch. I'm going to jail. Motherfuckers had some sabrositas.
And it tells how aircraft can be used by criminal entities and can be used by law.
Shut the fuck up, man. You're using the same marketing techniques that the internet forced on Mencho's daughter's restaurant. Mencho's daughter didn't go out promoting that it was Mencho's daughter's restaurant. The internet did. And that sent all the alucinas there. All the alucinas are going to go get in that plane. All of them. But if you're a Mayo guy, why you want to be there? He got snatched in that. That's bad. Oh, but if you're a Chapo guy, all we want to be with. But your boy snitched, though, and did some police work. So what are you going to see this shit for? Because you're a fucking jerk-off. What we know is people are claiming that they have insider information that the U.S. government is admitting their involvement in this mess. I ain't seen one story outside of independent journalism about it. As much as we complain about mainstream media and mainstream journalism, and the independents were supposed to be our respite, our rescue, our oasis from these fucking companies, y'all have become just as bad as these big media companies. We can't trust you.